Hello everyone, my name is Gitanjali Singh and I am currently interning at Lexis & Company, and the topic for today's YouTube video is defamation. Now one must think that defamation is given both under tort law and our IPC, but there is a slight difference between the tort defamation and the IPC, though the meaning of them are same. Now in India, defamation is both a civil and criminal offense. As you must know, that tort does not totally apply on India and there is no codification for it under Indian law. Now, the remedy for civil defamation is stated under the law of tort, and in a civil defamation case, the person who is defamed can move either to High Court or subordinate court and seek damages from for in form of monetary compensation. So, under tort law, the defamation can be regarded as civil offense, but in IPC or criminal law, it can be regarded as both criminal and civil offense because of the any defamatory sentence, a person can loosen their reputation, and though they can seek punishment for it also. Now defamation falls under law of tort, which imposes the punishment in form of damages awarded to the claimant, but under criminal law it is a defamation is bailable, non-compoundable, uh, no so, I'm sorry, non-cognizable and compoundable offense. Now, what is defamation? First, starting with the introduction, is a man's reputation is considered to be the valuable property, and every man has right to protect their reputation. This right is acknowledged as an inherent personal right and is just in rem, that is a right against all person in the world. Now, defamation refers to any oral or written statement made by any person which damages the reputation of another person. As defined in the Black's Law Dictionary, it is the offense of injuring a person's character, fame, or reputation by false and malicious statement, by affecting its mental health also. Now, the elements for defamations are the statement. First of all, a statement should be made. For example, a statement can be made by either words, either spoken or intended to read, or by signs, or by visual representations, or in written form. Now, for example, there is a person called A who is asked to stole B's diamond ring. Now, A points to C, intending to cause everybody to believe that C stole the diamond ring. This is defamation because A is defaming the reputation of C, though he has not done, because that statement is false. Now, the another element that is important is statement must refer to the plaintiff. That is to the person. The statement should directly refer to a person on whose basis the statement has been made. It must directly connect to that person on which the statement has been made. Now, the third element is the statement must be defamatory. For example, defamation starts when someone is making a statement, and any person who makes a defamatory statement can be held liable for defamation. Now, a defamatory statement tends to diminish the good opinion that other holds about a simple person, and it has the tendency to make others look at him with a feeling of hatred, ridicule, or fear or dislike. So any kind of abusive language may also be a defamatory. Now, for example, a man called a hypocrite or habitual drunkard. If someone call him a drunkard, then it will defame him. So a few illustrations to understand what defamation is, what is not. Now, the things that critics do, or the to criticize someone's work, to for some reputation kind, is not defamatory. Now, the another element is the ill intention of the wrongdoer. That is the ill intention of the person who is defaming the plaintiff. The other element is the statement should be false. A defamatory statement should be false because truth is the absolute defense for for a defamation. The statement should not be privileged. That is, in some cases, the statement may be privileged. That is, a person who has made the statement is protected from such kind of liability. Now the another is the statement must be published. For this element we'll understand with the case in the Mahendra Ram versus Prasad, the defendant was held liable because he had sent a defamatory letter written in Urdu, despite knowing that the person who is reading the letter does not know Urdu, and he has to give that letter to third party, and ultimately the letter will be read by someone else, hence defaming that person indirectly. Now this can also be regarded as defamation. Now another, the third party believes the defamatory matter to be true, so that his reputation is being demolished. Now the statement must cause an injury to his reputation or his mental health. Now it isn't common fight between defamation versus freedom of speech. The question that arises is whether arising out of defamation is a violation of a right of freedom of speech and expression, which has been protected under Article 19. Now, as we know that there is no specific fundamental right to privacy, and the judicial and the continuous judicial interpretation includes is an as dimensions under the right of life, liberty guaranteed under Article 21 of the Constitution. So, the right of reputation as well as privacy also comes under the ambit of Article 21. Now, in the famous case of Subramaniam Swamy versus Union of India, a petition regarding decriminalization of defamation was filed. In this petition, it was the constitutional validity of Section 499 and 500 of IPC, which defines the defamation and the punishment prescribed by it, has been challenged, and its constitutional validity has been challenged, was challenged in that case. Now, it was said that it is an unreasonable restriction on the freedom of speech and expression. Now, the Honorable Supreme Court, that is the apex court, held that criminal defamation under Section 4899 and 500 do not violate Article 19 subclause 1 part A, as it is a reasonable restrictions under Article 19 subclause 2. Now the term defamation in Article 19 subclause 2 includes both civil and criminal defamation. Section 499 and 500 of IPC was held to be non-defamatory and non-arbitrary and non-violative of the right of equality, which has been guaranteed under Article 14 of the Constitution also. While in a democracy, an individual has a right to criticize and dissent, but his right under Article 19 1 subclause 1 part A is not absolute. They a person cannot defame another person, as that would be an offend the victim's fundamental right of reputation, which is an integral part of Article 21. That is, our right to speak has been is not an absolute right, but with a certain restrictions. Now defenses are available against defamation, and difference between defamation as a tort and defamation as a crime will be dealt in another video. Thank you. That's all.